There are so many people with their own stories and philosophies. We all walk our own paths and go through different things in our lifetime. What bonds us is when we take a second to slow down and relate to others through their emotions, experiences, and wisdom. Hello, everyone. My name is Esteban. My goal is for us to learn from the many lives and the many feelings of others. I will ask these people random questions which they have no prior knowledge of, with the intent of engaging their opinions and thoughts, which will provide a perspective of truth and knowledge to all of us.
Hey everybody, my name is Rosa. I am a content creator. So a lot of things. I'm an event planner. I'm also a promoter. I do networking for a little brand called Tokyo Bronx ACG. ACG stands for Anime, Comics, and Games. So what is it is it's a social mixer, theme-based events, and that's how we started in 2019. And we affiliated with Tokyo Bronx, and we've been doing so much more things for the community in who love nerdum stuff and anime, comic, and games. And it's been a wild ride these past few years, and thankful for the community and everyone that's joined us.
What was your angriest moment in your life?
Oh man, angriest moment. I'm the type of person that's like, I try not to get angry, even though inside I could feel angry, and I'm like, no, I shouldn't get angry about this. But I guess a time that I really blew up definitely had to be with my father when I was like, I still remember it because it was such a awakening moment. Like I was 12 years old and I was just so angry with him about like just the way he was and the way he just was so oblivious to how he was treating us and or not seeing us. And I just was done with it, and I was just so angry that I was like, I don't want to go with you anymore. I don't want to see you and till you figure shit out. And I think that anger stems into like a lot of people like, figure it out. Like I feel like I shouldn't have to be this angry until you figure shit out. So sometimes I get into, I guess that goes into my relationships of like, figure shit out and then, I'll come back to you kind of thing. And yeah, I think that was an awakening moment for me to realize that it's okay to get angry like that from time to time, especially if it's something that, you care about.
How do you feel that that relationship that you had with your father, how did that reverberate into your life in adulthood?
I think for a while I was on this mindset of like, oh, I don't want to talk to him. I'm not gonna forgive him, and all this. And I think as time passed and I grew into adulthood and I got into like my mid 20s, like, into deeper relationships, not just with friends, but with men. And then, and it made me realize that it's not everybody, that's that way, especially men. It's not all men that are like that. It just was this particular person that had to be close to me. And I think I learned to forgive him. So instead of carrying that baggage of that burdening of like, oh, I'm not going to forgive him and forget this. Yeah, everyone has their reasons, but I felt for me, just that weight of carrying that, of like not forgiving him, it was too much for me. I felt like I wanted to just resonate vibrance and, positivity and kindness to myself and also the things I was doing. So, um, we started talking again and laying boundaries, which for me is very important even to this day. And it's become a lot better. Like I tell him, like, I forgive you, but I don't forget. I'm not going to forget the things. And it doesn't mean like just because I forgive you, everything is okay with what happened before. We just have to learn how to respect each other's boundaries moving forward and how to begin that anew. And, it's been a process for both of us. And I think for him to see like me in a different light, especially as an adult and a grown woman.
Next question. If you could go back in time and change a moment in your life, what would it be and why?
Hmm. Oh, wow. These are good questions. Let's see. I could change a moment in my life. Hmm. Well, I feel like there's so many. I also feel like they made me who I am today. It's always so tricky because I always tell myself I don't regret things in my life, and they make me who I am today, because some people be like, oh, that must be rough. And I wish, you probably wish you could do it over, kind of thing. But I don't know. I feel like for me, nothing sticks out to me right now that I would change because I think about all those moments that's happened to me that were not good or horrible. And I feel it's made me who I am today in all aspects.
What do you think is the right way to live your life?
Hmm. I think you'll know instinctually for yourself. I think everyone has this vibrancy within them and they know like if it's right for them. I don't know. I just feel some people they're not in tune with the core self. I always say this, like they're not in sync with who they are for whatever reasons, traumas blocking them or, things that they don't want to pay attention to. But I feel like when you are able to understand yourself in that deeper level, and I've been doing a lot of work with myself as far as therapy and different types of therapy throughout the years. And I've been recently doing one called Internal Family Systems, which is IFS for short. And that one has really touched upon different parts of me and made me realize that all those different parts of me know the answer, and make me who I am today. And I think just being in a silent moment with them and with myself, the answers do come to you and you're able to just be very authentic and intentional with the choices you make and the things that you do in your life.
What is a cherished memory or moment you have as a child?
Mm. um, Funny as it may sound, it does involve my father in it too. And the cherished moments were when my mom would do birthday parties for us and she would go all out. Like she would just invite the whole family and cook all the food and like the music, just the vibrancy of everyone just coming together. Like, and that was something that would happen almost every year for a certain number of years while I was young. And I always looked forward to it because it was, both sides of the family coming together and just being silly and being themselves and just dancing. You know how it is, Puerto Rican households, we have just a good time with the music and the food, and it just brings people together. I always feel food and music is like the basic universal thing that brings people together. And those always stick out to me, especially when it involves those things, music, food, and family. Like I just feel it's you can't beat it.
Yeah, no, you can't. Those are
Yeah.
awesome times. Yeah.
You remember, you always remember also like the kids who acted up or the baby they always say the baby in the bedroom quiet, like sleeping on the coats and stuff.
Yeah. Typical Latino parties.
Yeah.
What gives you hope?
um Gives me hope is, hmm, I think knowing that we as a conscious society has grown. I think, because we do our individual things as people, and we find our own paths and growths and stuff. But I think what gives me hope is sometimes, because the news could always put negative stuff out there in your face, and you just think, and even social media, which is like, please, like if you could detach yourself from that from time to time, do so and just see what's in front of you and yourself. But anyway, I think what gives me hope is those stories that you hear from the everyday person of kindness, of even them being aware of their fellow man or woman person that's there. And especially, and we only see those moments when tragedy happens, and it's sad. Like, but those moments happen every day around us. The news doesn't highlight it as much. But to know that, like for example, there was, I like when I'm going to and from work, or even with my kids, sometimes you'll see little things if you're paying attention, because sometimes for people, especially in New York, you're just in a rush to go to where you're going. You don't pay attention to the things, being present. And I always try to pause for presence. That's like a phrase I tell myself and something I'm working on as well because I'm not perfect. Then when I get those moments to pause and you see the little things that people do for each other, it brings hope. And then, there's times that I'll see, um, the bus driver knowing, oh, this woman's too elderly to be on the bus on her own. I'm going to take her off the bus and pay for her cab to go to where she has to go. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to go out of his way. Like he's on the clock. But he did that, and I saw that, and I was like, wow, that's like, because he's like, that could be my mother. I'm like, yeah, that could be anybody's mother, and for him to do that, I noticed it, and a couple of people around me noticed it too, and just those moments that, I think it just gives me hope.
No, it's a great answer because I think that's what's given humanity hope over the span of, our race. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. What lives rent free in your mind and thoughts?
I would say, free would definitely be silly memes. Even though I say social media, please detach from it. But when you get out, like those memes just stay stuck in your head, and like right now my kids are looking at this crazy cat that does this little dance, and it's stuck in my head now because now they saw it on YouTube, and now it's like, oh man, now it's in my head, and they take control of the TV at times, and whatever they catch that's on social media or something like, oh great, now this is in my head, and I enjoy it. I can't say that I don't enjoy it. Like, oh, I think that's cute, and you have to appreciate it. Just laugh about it. So yeah, definitely silly memes, and sometimes you walking through life and you see something, you just tend to think about that. You can follow me at my brand tokyobronxacg, that's for anime, comic, and games. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on Spotify. I think that's all of them so far. But yeah, we have a number of amazing events coming up in the Bronx. We're going to be going to comic conventions in the local area. So if you're into that stuff, you can find us there. Be intentional with everything that you do and say in your life, because I think for me that's been my thing for 2023. I've even thought about, I say I'll get a tattoo, but I'm not gonna do that. But I keep it as a mantra in myself. Like everything I say, be intentional about it. Everything I do, am I intentional about this? Even business, am I intentional about this? Even what I say, if I care for somebody, is what I'm saying intentional to them? Is it because you want to know if it's something out of a reaction, a fear reaction, or is it something, no, I'm intentional with my words, you know, in this moment. And I think for everyone that's, just really, if you listen to yourself and understand that and your core self, like, and everyone has that part of them that's their core self. And they'll let you know, like, where that intention is for you in that moment.